All right, so I'm at the point with this Octave Mandolin where I'm going to put the tone bars in. So it's a lot different than it was looking from a few days ago. I've got it close to final graduation. I'm gonna save the final bit for the outside for the final recurve. So right now I'm gonna focus my attention on the tone bars. Now there's some prep work that goes into that. What I've done, and what I think most people should do, is figure out where the bridge location is. And basically, I knew where it was on the front, and so I just measured from the end of the soundboard to the bridge, and that happened to be about 8 inches. So I did the same on the inside and marked it. And then I got one of these, I mean, I've had it for years. You can see it's broken, but it basically just has a lot of perpendicular lines, kind of like transparent graph paper almost. And so that helps because then I can line up the line with the center line of the soundboard, extend the line across, and then I can also I like to have these lines and they correspond to where the feet of the bridge will be. Right here and right here. I'm doing an X brace, and so what I like to do is make sure I have the X brace intersection about 1 inch above the bridge. And so then it's a matter of just a little bit of geometry of drawing the line so it passes under the foot of the bridge and onward. And then I always label an A and a B, and those correspond to each tone bar. It's super easy to mix the tone bars up, and then they're not fitting right, and you're like, why is this not fitting right? And then it's just something simple as that. So that's the prep work I do for the inside of the soundboard. For the tone bars, I like to use something like red spruce just because it's the best, or one of the better or stronger tone woods. And so I had this block of red spruce, and I just kind of cut off a bunch of pieces. It's straight grain, quarter sawn. That's the preferred. Although I think they've done a lot of like studies and experiments where it showed it didn't really matter if it was like a slab sawn piece or quarter sawn, but we're doing quarter sawn. I've labeled each one A and B, and they correspond to A and B. And then what I do is I kind of fit it and have it along this line that I drew. And then what I'm going to do, the next step, I'll do it off camera, but I will initially just hand chisel something like that away. And I'll do that for each side. And what that's gonna allow me to do is have it, it's not gonna be fitting at all, but it'll be close enough down into the soundboard where I can then use a washer, and on each side of the tone bar with a pencil, use the washer and pencil to trace the curvature onto the tone bar, and I'll then use a little hand plane and chisel and chisel down to that line, and then I'll do the initial fitting. I guess that was the initial fitting, so this will be the secondary fitting. So, all right, so that's more or less my approach for fitting tone bars on an Archtop type instrument. So I'm gonna go work on the tone bars.